Welcome everybody inside for once. So this video, I just want to do a brief overview of some of the things that have helped me to get to the next level. Some books specifically that I've read over the last couple of years, over the last couple of months actually, that have really done me some good in finding some new strategies and some new ideas in order to propel me towards the future. So everybody needs a mentor sometimes, and sometimes those mentors aren't necessarily in a physical presence or a physical person that you can go and touch and have around you all the time. Sometimes the best mentors are the ones that are long gone and have left their legacy to show us how they can do things, and some of the time-tested ones are the ones that are still standing out over hundreds of years or 100 years. So I'm going to do the top 5 books that I love and that I've read more than once, and that's how you know it's a great book, is if you've learned it more than once, or if you learned it over different periods in your life, which, different periods are, you're 25, you're 35, you're 45, and so if you've read the book multiple times during those different multiple times of your life and those different stages specifically, you get different things out of them as you grow and as you mature and as you develop those new attitudes and those new mindsets. So, of course, my top book that I always go to is always going to be, is this one here. As I know it's probably backwards, but Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book right here changed my life. I was actually given to it by my first mentor, who was pretty awesome in, firing me up and getting me going and pushing the limits of what he thought that I could do. And, I was in a place where I thought I could only get so far, and I thought I was doing good. But he gave me these kind of things, and he gave me the pushes that I needed to do. This book is great because it's pretty old. It's a classic, and it's a must read for anybody in any stage. And it helps to read it a couple of times to kind of get through some of the things that are in here. But some of the big things in here deal with fear and what we do when we have fear, when we let fear rule us, and this will help you to overcome some of those things. It gives you some really good organizations and ideas on how to obtain specialized knowledge, and I particularly like the one on fear and faith. Those ones are really great in this book. So highly recommended. Read it more than once and keep it on your shelf. I often give this away to lots of different people because I think if they're on the right track and they're going in the right direction, this will definitely help them to get kind of on the next level. It also has you can buy on Amazon, and you can buy some workbooks with it too. So it kind of goes through the different processes and help you to figure the book out a little bit better than you would otherwise. This one, Spartan Up, by Joe DeSena. He's the owner and founder of the Spartan Races. And back a few years ago when I was doing Spartan Races, this book came in really, really handy because it gave me some tools and some inspiration to overcome some serious obstacles that I was chasing at the same time with, weight loss, and the fact that I've got kind of, and I'm not going to ever admit it, but a physical disability that kind of slows me down and kind of helps to humble me a little bit where I need to be humbled. But a book like this will help you to realize how you can overcome some of those obstacles and how to push a little bit further and to Spartan up in a whole new level, and how he did it and how he created this whole universe of awesomeness through the Spartan organization, which is really cool. So I recommend that. Just recently I read Tim Grover's Winning. This is awesome because it kind of goes into how he helped Michael Jordan get to the next level, and how Michael Jordan actually kind of helped him get to realize some real greatness, and how they helped each other to defeat a lot of craziness in life. And so he's got a couple other books that I've listened to online, such as Relentless, and you see him all over the place, Tim Grover. doing all kinds of fun stuff. So that's a highly recommended read if you want to learn how winners win and how guys like Michael Jordan had this intensity that was unstoppable and unbeatable. And together through this team, they were able to do some crazy, awesome things. And so my fourth book, and I've read this a couple of times, and it's got so much in there, is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I've read this a couple of times, and every time I read it, I glean some new knowledge. So it's another one of those, just like the Napoleon Hill book. Read it a couple of times, and get this one in particular because it's got some really cool insights, and it's got a whole section on some things you can do on a whole higher level. And I definitely recommend reading that a couple of times because it's a pretty fun read. Highly recommended. And then one that I never expected is this book called Power, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. This is, I thought it was almost like gonna mess me up, but I thought it might be too negative or whatever. But the cool thing about this 48 Laws of Power is that he uses historical references. He talks about how very powerful people were powerful and how they used their power for good, and how that you should in different ways that people used it for good and how people used it for bad, and the takeaways from either which one. So he does a lot of ancient Chinese and ancient long time ago people that I've never heard of and that you've probably never heard of, but it is quite the read. So from Napoleon Hill to Napoleon Bonaparte, and some of these French leaders and Chinese leaders and people that were totally awesome in their day, and how they ruled and how they messed up at the same time. So the 48 Laws of Power give you a good example from historical references. So if you want to know a little history and you want to know how great leaders were great and how they messed up, this is the book for you. But all 3 of these, or all 5 of these books, are highly recommended. 48 Laws of Power, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Winning by Tim Grover. I know these are all backwards. Cameras are funny. Spartan Up by Joe DeSena. And of course, my favorite, Think and Grow Rich. This is a must-have, Think and Grow Rich. You've got to read this book. You've got to read it more than once, because even though it's so old in its origins, it still has so much value in today's world that whether you're 25, 35, 45, 75, this is going to help you to understand a lot of things that you're going through and that you will go through. So like I said, 18 to 100, read this book. So leaders are readers. And so I'm going to leave you with that thought. You're going to need to read some stuff. You're going to need to understand some things in a whole new way. There's reasons why there's libraries, and there's reasons why there's bookstores still to this day with all this information online and all the content that you can download in 50 seconds. Some of these things, you got to sit down and you got to take them in. You got to sit down and you got to absorb them quietly without anybody or any interruptions, so that you can really begin to process the knowledge that are in these books, because there's so much. I got a whole library of personal books that I bought, and I've got all kinds of books on audio that I've listened to, and while I'm driving, I listen to quite a few things. Podcasts are great, but some of the greatest things I have are from reading, right? So a sixth and last thing is, I know that a lot of people are, kind of have their own feelings and thoughts of this, but there's 66 books in the Bible, right? And one of them is the Proverbs, which gives you a lot of practical knowledge. And the Proverbs of the Bible was written by King Solomon, one of the greatest kings, most wealthiest, most knowledgeable kings ever, the richest man ever. Puts Warren Buffett, puts, Bill Gates and, Elon Musk to absolute shame as far as their wealth and their prestige, right? So King Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs, So that's just one of the books of the Bible, and you can take what you want out of there. But there's so much greatness and so much to be learned and so much thought that can become out of that just one book, that it can literally change your life. So with that said, I'm going to let you go. It's 10 minutes of recommendations, but these 5 books plus one are must reads in your life if you really want to go to the next level. You really want to understand things on a different path. But like I said, leaders are readers, and knowledge is power when applied. So you can read this book and you can kind of just put it aside and not do anything with it, or you can apply this knowledge and you can go 10 times further, 10 times faster than you ever would without it. So I'm going to tell you to have a great day and keep on going, keep on pushing. You have a greatness within you, and you need to let it out. And so you need to use these tools to get there. So have an awesome day. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like any of this stuff. I'm going to come out with my recommendations soon on the top financial books to read, and also some other stuff that I think that you need to start to absorb so that you can get to a higher place with yourself. So until I see you next time, thanks for coming inside this time. We'll see you again.